Hello. The purpose of this is for you to be able to um, use dimensional analysis and like an equation to predict different amounts, or predict products, or predict amounts. All right. So this would be like if I've given an equation like a cooking recipe or something like that, or a chemical equation where I had an equation and I wanted to predict how much of one ingredient to another. I'm going to need to know what a ratio is, and a ratio is like one thing to another. Boys to girls in a classroom, number of pine trees in a forest. So let's say you had a question like, how much can 400 grams of butter, how many cookies could it make? Well, the first thing you need to consider is what's my recipe? And the recipe is going to give you an equation. And here's your equation. 1 stick of butter, 2 cups sugar, 3.5 cups flour, and you get 24 cookies. So the thing you're going to have to do first is convert whatever your amount you have. And in this case, it's going to be the 400 grams. You're going to convert it into whatever the equation is calling for. And so in the equation, the butter comes in sticks. So you're going to need to convert that 400 grams into sticks. Now, here's my conversion factor. 1 stick is 113 grams. So I would always start on the top left for my conversion, and there it is. And then I'm going to use this conversion factor right here and set it up like that so that the grams get canceled out and I'm left with sticks of butter. Now the next step is to use the equation to convert to the new thing, or the new quantity that I want to go from. So I've already done the 400 grams into sticks of butter. And now in the equation, I did this a little out of order. I want the equation to be there. So if you look at the equation, I know that for every 1 stick, I make 24 cookies. So that's why I've already in grams, or excuse me, in sticks of butter from the first one, and then I would convert the sticks of butter into cookies. And then I'd multiply across and divide. So 400 times 24 divided by 113 is 849.10 divided by 1, and that equals 85 cookies. Shouldn't eat my apple yet. Now, here's another one. How many sticks of butter would be needed for 356 cookies? Well, for every 1 stick of butter, I make 24 cookies. So that allows me to do my conversion and do my problem. Now, I didn't need to do the first step because I was already in the quantity that the equation is in. So now I would divide 356 by 24, and I'd get around 15 sticks of butter. Once again, here you can see, here's my 3 sticks of butter, excuse me, 1 stick of butter for every 24 cookies, and there's that ratio. It's following the same rules of dimensional analysis as always. The cookies are diagonal from each other. I always multiply across, divide at the end. Now, how many cookies would 2 bags of flour make? All right. Now, 1 cup of flour is 120 grams. 1 bag of flour is 2 pounds. 1 kilogram is 2.2 milliliters. And there's 1,000 grams per kilogram. Here's my equation. So I start with bags of flour. Then I go to pounds of flour. And from pounds of flour, I'm going to go to kilograms. And then from kilograms, I'm going to go to grams. And grams, I'm going to go to cups. And then I'm going to use, now I'm in the unit that the equation calls for, so in cups of flour, and then I can use the ratio from the equation 3.5 cups of flour for every 24 cookies. And then I'm going to multiply all these numbers. 2 times 1 times 1,000 is 4,000, times 24 is 96,000. And then 2.2 times 120 times 3.5 is 924. Then I'm going to divide, and I'm going to get 103. Now, 2 bags of flour is 1 sig fig, so this has 1 sig, needs to have 1 sig fig, so the answer would be 100. So about 100 cookies. And that's how, those are 3 examples on how you use dimensional analysis. That's this piece. And an equation, that's this, to predict amounts. If I've got 2 bags of flour, how many cookies can you make based upon this recipe? Thank you, and I hope you have a good day.